Yeah. Yeah, it's Elo. Listen, it's fun. I'm on a run. I'm really just in the middle of the ocean, you know what I'm saying? Captain Elo. Pirate shit. Looking at my tail on ground. Celibate, you know I'm off the grid. Look that I want some kids. Look at the bar. I'm in the middle of the sea, and my girl don't fuck with these. She do not fuck with her dada. Yeah, I am her dada. Yeah, she want her father. I am a slammer. I am a grinder. Yeah, she gon' find out. Yeah, I am a master. Yeah, I am no rapper. Nah, I can go faster. I can go dapper. I can go dapper. I'm a stacker. I am a snacker. That mean I'm a hacker. I'm not a capper. Yeah, rubbing that kitty. Yeah, you know that capper. That boy a slacker. That boy a liker. Now he my liker, but he can't secure. That's an insecure shit. There is no cure for that. Yeah, we can go to war for that. She's so wavy, yeah, I'm a surfer. Wavy, I'm a surfer. She's so wavy, I'm a surfer. Celibate, you know I'm off the grid. Come a little bit that I want some kids. Look at the bar. I'm in the middle of the sea, and my girl don't fuck with these. She do not fuck with her daughter. Yeah, I am her daughter. Yeah, she want her father. I am a slammer. I am a grinder. Yeah, she gon' find out. Yeah, I am a master. Yeah, I am no rapper. Nah, I can go faster. I can go dapper. Yeah, middle of the ocean. Yeah, I'm just coasting. Who's I mean boasting? Who is the coldest? Who came in boldest? Yeah, I am the oldest, but you should know this. I am the coldest. I am on fire. Who am I roasting? Thought he was fired, then he did ghost me. I ain't not tripping. I am the chosen. I am the closest to the sun. I'm on the run. Say the run. This shit is fun. She's so wavy. Yeah, I'm a surfer. Wavy. I'm a surfer. She's so wavy, I'm a surfer. Celibate, you know I'm off the grid. Come a little bit that I want some kids. Let's go to bar. I'm in the middle of the sea, and my girl don't fuck with these. She do not fuck with her daughter. Yeah, I am her daughter. Yeah, she want her father. I am a slammer. I am a grinder. Yeah, she gon' find out. Yeah, I am a master. Yeah, I am no rapper. Nah, I can go faster. I can go dapper.
That was Elo K, Off the Grid. Link to that song will be in the description of this um of this live stream. Yes. Welcome. Nightcap with Friends, the best podcast at night. Powered by Smoking Politics with me. Honorably refreshing for the world. It's your boy, I'm him, Giovanni. Interviewing a multi-talented young woman hailing from Los Angeles, California. Ms. Barbie Velvet, founder and CEO of Wide Scope Podcast Radio, based out there once again in Los Angeles. She'll be coming in shortly. Tune in this weekend as well. I will be dropping a hood vlogs with Honor, highlighting the grind, not the crime. And she's in. She's in right now. So we're going to get this shit rolling right now.
Try to be. I'm making sure I'm on time, driving and all.
How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I've been so excited. I've been thinking about this all day. I said, I got to make sure I'm on point for 6 o'clock today. I've been putting people on my car all day. Even had to drop my daddy off early.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for, blessing the platform. First and foremost, everybody, this is Nightcap with Friends, the best podcast at night, powered by Smoking Politics with me, honorably refreshing for the world. We got Miss Barbie Velvet, founder a wide scope podcast radio out there in Los Angeles, California. Um, Miss Barbie, let my subscribers know who you are. I know they just heard me say who you are, but let them know. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and what's going on with you.
Well, basically, I go by Barbie Velvet. My real name is Barbara. I'm the owner and creator of Wide Scope Podcast Radio, where we talk about business, life, and products on a wide scope, where quality outweighs quantity. I've been a background person in this industry and in most of my life. And so I realized that although I like helping people and supporting people, I needed to have something for myself. You know, you can help people, you can do stuff for people, but you got to have something in it for yourself. And so after helping a lot of different people, I said, you know what? I don't mind helping artists, helping businesses, helping brands, but I need to start a podcast that I can get paid for all the marketing and promo and support that I do give artists and products. And so I came up with my podcast, and I've had a lot of ups and downs, but one thing I've never did is quit. And I feel like I'm now starting to reciprocate a lot of the benefits of weathering the storm and pushing through.
Right, right. Yes, like I for the past few days I've been doing my homework on you, and you've been through you've
Okay.
been you've been through some storms. You've been through some storms, and I see you still standing. So that leads me in, first and foremost, I should have said this before we started. I want to give you your flowers like I do with everybody. I want to say I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Because you out
Thank
here changing the
you.
narrative. You could be out here doing the most and feeling sorry for yourself, but you're not. You keep out there. You keep striving, and you are the epitome of what my platform's about. And I say this to everybody because I'm highly selective on who I have on here, especially who I interview. So thank you, and I'm proud of you. And keep going.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I needed that. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into it.
Okay.
Now, and I know, and I gotta bring my A game because you do this. I've watched you for the past few days, and I'm like, okay, she does this. You're not playing with this. So quality outweighs quantity. I like that slogan. You know what I'm saying? What made you come up with that?
Um, the truth is that I see a lot of people care about the numbers. A lot of people care about popularity. I've always known, I've always been blessed to have a certain exposure to a lot of people who may consider themselves popular or may seem themselves as bigger than life. But I felt that when I created my platform, that I didn't want it to be about the quantity of numbers or the quantity of who you think you are as far as like how big your massive audience is. I wanted to care about quality stories and quality character of people that I talk to. There's a lot of times people call me, they want to come talk about somebody else. If you can't come stand on your story as a human being and tell your story, then Why School Podcast Radio isn't a place for you. This isn't a place for you to talk about other people. This is a place for you to tell your story and let people connect with what you've been through, because I need people to understand that there's a purpose in everybody's struggle. And that don't come with worrying about the numbers and worrying about who's popular. I've had people who've been very popular on YouTube, have a lot of following, give people a lot of numbers, but I didn't like the character and who they were. So I declined.
I feel you on that. I, some people would say, "Oh, you can't mix your personal feelings with business," but f all that. You know what I mean? I feel the same way. I refuse. I had a few opportunities myself to sit in rooms and or conduct interviews with somebody, and just because, like you said, their character and their moral compass wasn't right. So I'm not being. I don't care if my channel or whatever my situation would have further that I'm not with that. You know what I mean? So I commend you on that. Good for you. Now this leads to my other question, right? Like I said, you're multi-talented. You got a lot of hats over here. You know what I'm saying? You got media, you do media and media, you're a director, event coordinator, red carpet MC. With all that, right? How do you balance all that with your personal life and motherhood?
To be honest with you, I've learned that I needed to start putting myself first, whether it came with my parenting, even my teenage daughter, she would get mad, when things didn't go her way. Recently, I let my daughter go live at her dad's house this year. Because I realize that a lot of women, sometimes we fight against the narrative that children can make their own assumptions even if they don't have all the information. And so I told myself that I needed to let my daughter go live, see what it was like at her dad's house, because the challenges that I faced it as a woman, because I didn't have my dad around all the time, I didn't want that for my daughter. So in the same way you find a balance with sharing your child, I realized that, okay, you know what, my daughter, as of this school year, my daughter went to stay with her dad. So I'm really kicking it up a notch because I feel like I went and got another job. I've checked into school, because you just got to do all that you can for yourself. You know, a lot of people tell me that I work too much, but I just look at it like we have distractions in this world. And if I don't fill the time up with everything that's positive for me, I feel like you can get blinded with false companionship. You can get blinded by being distracted. So how I balance everything that I do, like I'm a event coordinator for FreeWay Rick Ross. You know, I have my own media platform, and how I balance it is I ask myself before I do anything, is it the best for Barbara? You know, is it the best for me? Do they have my best interest in mind? Because sometimes we could do stuff for people because they may be somebody or they may be popular, but you have to ask yourself, do they have the best interest in mind for you? So that's how I balance everything. I ask myself, like today, I woke up, I went to We Grow LA. Shout out to We Grow LA, feeding people like the sloths and swap meet. And then I did some things, and then I said, no more. I went and picked up my dad. I went to the beach. I went to a restaurant. You know, you just got to be selfish with your time, because we don't know how long we got, you know? So that's how I balance it. I tell myself every day, if this was the last day I got, I'm going to do something for everybody else, but I'm going to make sure I do something for me.
Facts. Good for you, man. I love that for you, man. And speaking of, like I said, man, this is flowing. So you spoke on Mr. Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, that is,
The real Rick
everybody.
Ross is not a rapper, baby. Let me tell you
Not
now, the real
He's
Rick Ross
not.
ain't no rapper, baby.
Like I said, I was doing my homework on you, doing my due diligence. I seen 6 months ago on your channel. Everybody go subscribe and hit that bell. She's on the road to 300, and she deserves to be monetized on here too. Go
Thank
subscribe and hit
you.
that bell to her channel, please. So 6 months ago, I seen you interview the real Rick Ross. How was that experience?
To be honest with you, it's been the best experience of my life. Rick Ross is the same age as my dad. My dad' health has really not been in the best place. I ask God that if I can help somebody as his age do all that he can, that he can restore my father. And I feel like because I've been doing all that I can to help him and what I can help him with, we always think about what people can help us with. Yes, the Freeway name is a big name, but I didn't join Freeway's team because what he could do for me. I saw him asking a room full of people what he needed to help him in his dispensary. And I told myself that if I can help a legend transform and do what he needs to do in his next stage of his life, that can speak volumes to the young people that I work with, showing them that you can go from prison, you can go from having a history, and you could be something. And I feel like I want to help him just for the culture, for us as a people to see somebody transition, you know, and reading his book and seeing him grind it hard. He don't make no excuses. He go place to place, grinding, pushing himself. And it just motivates me that at my age, if someone at his age can do it, there should be no excuses for us as younger people.
Not at all, especially the hand he was dealt. And then when he came home, how he had another grown man steal his whole name and image and everything, his likeness, and he had to take that grown man to court when that grown man should have just, here, I ran with your image and everything. You don't got to take me to court. Or gee, here you go. Here's homage. Boom, 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 boom.
But you
I
know
got
what?
filthy rich off you. Here you go. He didn't
But you
even
know
do
what I
that.
but you know what I'm thankful for? See, what people see, for me, I look at things so much differently. I look at it like I appreciate him. You know why? Because he's helping us realize that anybody can take your
Who, the
name.
rapper? The rapper?
Yeah. The reason why I appreciate the rapper being who he is, knew what he did, is, you know why? Because he helped us realize that as a people, that somebody could try to take your story, somebody could try to take your name. They may get out here and get money, and they may got to do whatever they got to do, but everything that happens in the dark comes to the light.
Morally, he's a piece of shit, though.
Yeah, morally, I just look at it like, for me, when somebody does something that is maybe not the best for you, it's a favor in the end. Because
Mm.
in the end, people are now getting to see that why the real Rick Ross is who he is. Because even though another person can take his name and try to ride on it, it ain't gonna never stop no real hustler. And it's Team Freeway all day, and we gonna get to the top no matter what. And when we do, it's gonna be a man that says, man, no matter how much money I had, no how much I wrote on his name, when the true character of the person is what matter. It's always gonna be quality over quantity. And I feel
Mhm.
like in the end, we never know how the story ends, but we're gonna see how this story ends, and we're gonna see that the real Rick Ross is gonna be on the top.
Yeah, the rapper, he lost me with that because I was over here because I'm very familiar with Freeway. You know, I read the books and all that stuff, and you know, growing up in California. So I'm over here and being a fan of the rapper, used to be a fan of the rapper. I'm like, okay, he's gonna do the honorable thing when this man comes out, as he should. And when I seen that, he lost me with that. Like, it was just like, wow, this man had to take you to court, and then he lost too. Like, he just lost me with that.
You know, but we have to realize that this world isn't designed for the real to win. This
I
world
know.
is designed for the reality. You know, my grandpa used to tell me that this world is based off Pinocchio. You either go to Treasure Island and you turn into a donkey, or you withstand it all and you pay attention to your conscience, you know. And sometimes the good, we don't know what this like, what's on the other side of this life for us. And for me, I know that when I'm done in this world, it matters how good I was to people. When I see my God's not gonna care about how many riches and how much money I had. He's gonna
But,
care about how I treated his people. So we just gotta wait to see what that other side looks like for us to realize, are these people really winning?
hmm, hmm, that is the question, huh? Um, you brought up the youth. This leads to my next, question. On this platform, I'm really, really big on the youth and mental health and all that. What are your thoughts on the youth? In LA, do you feel like there's enough programs or not enough programs?
Ooh, to be honest with you, I've been in youth programming for over 20 years. I kind of took a step back once COVID came, right? And I realized that we have to have a self-awareness that it was a time when the world got hard that we all just started focusing on ourselves, but we have to redevelop that and get back focused into the people, because all the youth programs and all the stuff and all the things that we had going, even though we could have did more, it's the world stopped for a minute. And now we're picking back up the pieces. And so people like myself and other people, I've gotten back into community work. I've gotten back into doing grant writing and back, I'm still doing my podcast thing like I always have. I've always been community orientated, but now I've started a nonprofit to where I could teach the youth all the things that I know about podcasting and everything that I started a street team now. We got little shirts and stuff, and I'm gonna be taking the youth out there with me to all the events. And I needed to learn this craft first, and now I'm just being more conscious that we need more programs to teach kids trades and do things. I did a pitch contest last night for Regrow LA and Chase Bank.
Hmm.
Me and another young lady won. So I'm gonna be getting more services to kind of help my youth program. And just I've been just reminding people, like, we just gotta do more. Even if you teach 5 kids what let's just do what we can do to teach the generation behind us. And so
Right.
I feel like, everybody wants to be a LLC, but everybody
Hmm.
has to remind themselves, like, make sure your business is doing something for elderly, something for this. We have to do something, because if we just keep relying on the government for everything in our communities, we're never going to grow as a people.
Mm. Why do you feel like you know with and just I could and I'm gonna go off track real quick. The rest of the world, they laugh at us for a reason. And it used to bother me when I was wet behind the ears, but now that I, know what's going on a little bit, I understand why they laugh at us. Why do you feel like it's so much division between us? What do you feel like the problem is?
The problem is
You
that
being a black woman in America, up and coming entrepreneur, how do you what do you feel like the problem is with just us as people? And it don't even matter who you, it could be just
you,
everybody, all of us, white,
you know
black,
how
brown,
you know how
Chinese.
Sigmund Freud said. I mean, you know how they say Sigmund Freud says that, like, our biggest fear is inadequate, right? I feel like the thing the sometimes the light that we fear in ourselves sometimes to be better and do more. Sometimes when we see that light in someone else, sometimes we're afraid to be the best form of ourselves. And sometimes when other people challenge us to be the better version of ourselves, instead of us wanting to be better, we'll knock down that person and knock down ourselves at the same time. I realize that the problem is that we really are crabs in a bucket. You know, it could be one crab in a bucket helping everybody get up, and people will kick that one that's down that was helping everybody. And
You ain't
so
never lie.
what the problem is too is that we have to realize that this world was not designed for us to be easy. It was designed for us to be challenging so that we will rely on our faith on who your creator is. And so I feel like the world is the way it is because we forgot that this life was about the spiritual journey, about being on this earth. Sometimes people just act like they on this earth, they gonna be here forever. And so
Yeah.
I think that the child we don't have the time want ourselves to succeed. So how can we want someone else to succeed? Half the time people don't even see the value in their own life to see the value in someone else's. And
Mm.
so the value is we don't appreciate life itself to even see the blessing to have life, to even see the blessing to collaborate or partner with someone else. We think that it's all people just thinking that it's all about themselves, and then forget to realize that when your child is in the classroom with another child, their household matters. And so we've gotten divided because we solidified ourselves with just thinking about ourselves and didn't realize that individually we may do a lot, together we can do so much more collectively.
You ain't never lie. And when you brought up the crab and barrel mentality, it brings me to my next question. But this pertains more to you women, right?
Mhm.
Um, on social media, we see it. Like I was just seeing this. I thought I had this thought like a few months back. I'm sitting here scrolling through IG, and I seen a certain celebrity, a woman. She is with some. I think it was what's her name? Summer Walker. I guess she got a new guy or something, and the comments was so negative. And you know where they came from? Majority of women with the negativity in the comments. Why do you feel like most women like just hate on one another? What's the problem with that? Because you see us dudes like, yeah, we go at it, but we're more like willing to hash things out and be friends or somewhat cordial with one another versus from what I'm seeing and what I experience, a lot of women, you guys hate each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. I know you see the comments too when you like say for instance Shade Room or whatever. The comments is wicked, and the majority of the hate you see
Let
from
me tell you
is be
something.
from.
I get hate myself. I could wake up sometimes and like when my dad first was sick, it was one lady that like barely even knew me. She was just like, "That's why your daddy gonna die," you know, you know. And shout out to her, you know, because I'm thankful. I'm at a point in my life where I'm appreciating my haters so much more because these haters are reminding me that you must see me. You feel me? I must be doing something worth you to take your energy to hate because I realize that that hate is really just animosity towards their self. Because a lot of people, I feel like when to go deep in it for me, I feel like some point in time, mothers didn't live the life they wanted to live, and so they took their hate out on their daughters. Okay? And over time, there has been grandmothers giving so much love to their kids, daughters mad that the moms are mad that daughters gets a lot of love from the mom that they never got. And it's this thing of mothers are so critical of their daughters that their daughters grow up being so critical of themselves that they critique everything. There's certain mothers that have been so unhappy with life that they have put that into their daughter, and their daughter has taken that out into the world into her daughter. And so at some point, that's why with myself I try to be as uplifting to women as possible, even to my haters. You feel me? I seen a girl this morning that was like, "Don't I recognize you?" And I was like, "No, you didn't do my hair." She's like, "Didn't I do your hair?" And it's like, "No, your friends jumped me. That's how you remember me." Now,
Mm,
I could have easily did something different when I saw her. But
Yeah.
what I remind her, I say, I'm gonna pray for you. God bless you. You feel me? Because women hate other women that are doing more than them at times because they some women don't even like themselves. Some women aren't even happy with the choices that they make. Some women don't feel like they are worthy enough. And then when you walk into the room fully confident, aware of yourself, they don't even realize that we may have the same insecurities if you just took some time to look past the facade. But
Hmm.
when people see a woman walk into the room and she thinks she all that, instead of them being like, ugh, this bitch thinks she all that, they should just say, you know what, Queen, I think you're all that. And it's a pleasure to meet you. You feel me? People don't like to be a fan of people. That's why you see me all the time. When I tag people, I let them know I'm a fan of theirs because there's nothing wrong with just being a fan of somebody.
Yeah. And it all boils down to insecurity, man. I feel like this, and it's funny you was saying that because a lot of dudes do the same thing. A lot of dudes do the same thing, man. I get the same shit, man. It's crazy. But that lets me know that I'm that dude, and I just need to stay out my own way, and I got to keep going. You brought up a situation when you said the young lady you ran into today. You said a friend, so that brings into the next question. Like I said, I've been doing my homework on you the past few days, and I was watching an interview you conducted with Sinfully Exquisite Entertainment. Shout out to that woman.
Shout out to
Um,
Cynthia.
you mentioned that you were jumped by a group of individuals that were seeking a viral video. That attack left you with like severe impairments that most say it's like disabling, but that does not seem to stop you, and I applaud you. So, how did that experience like change you and made you and what's your outlook on life now and how you move now?
It really let me realize that I was so happy to create, so happy to be in a new world, so happy to try to collaborate and grow so much with people that I forgot to realize that there's still a devil in this world. You feel me? I forgot that there was bad spirits in this world. I forgot there was people that would smile in my face and hate me behind my back. I realized that me as a rape survivor, I am different with males than most women, and it is very hard for males to accept that. So the guy who promoted the girls to jump me, he was very, very sad that he was rejected when he came to my house and I did an interview with him. He came to my house, he started taking his shoes off and shit and got comfortable, and he didn't know I had security in the room. So when he thought we was there by ourselves, we weren't, and after that interview, I could just tell he would invite me to his house. I would never go over his house, and I was in charge of I had bought the rights to a reality show and I was trying to put it together, and he wanted the limelight from it. And so I backed up, and I realized in that situation that I was thankful that it happened to me, because you could lose your life being around the wrong people. You feel me? You could lose so much more. So even though that happened to me, I was thankful that it happened to me because it let me have a chance to evaluate who I am, who I'm around, who I do business with, who I partner with. No more just an open door policy to people. And it reminded myself that it needs to be quality over quantity. And that's when I really started just pushing that as my slogan. And moving forward now, I have always been a person to choose violence when people brought violence towards me.
Facts.
But I realized that if I really am trying to believe in God and have a stronger faith in God, because the only way I'm going to be blessed is not going to be by chance. I'm only going to be blessed and have the life that I live by God. And if I am serious about my faith, I need to start relying on God and not take vengeance into my own heart. So this was the first time that somebody ever did something to me physical and I didn't get wicked back with them. You feel me? I told myself that I am 36 years old. I am about to be 37 years old. And this happened the day before Mother's Day. And my mom came to me in a dream and told me that she was going to take care of the people that did this to me. But if I continue to hang around people, my mom always talked to me about who I hung around as my friends. And she
Mm.
told me that if I didn't make better decisions by my friends, that I would get caught up with them. And I told myself all my life I had picked the worst friends to be around, and that I was going to make a conscious decision about who I was going to be around from that moment forward. My life has drastically changed from that year to this year. And I
Mhm.
can honestly say that sometimes the worst things in life that can happen to you can make you a better person in the end.
I
And
totally
now,
agree.
and now I have so many more opportunities, and I don't have the wrong people in my life, and you can have people in your life that'll block your blessings. And I had to go through that to see that. So to anybody out there that's hating on somebody that do whatever they do, don't take vengeance into your own heart. Just know that God really will take care of it for you. BET sent me tickets to the BET Awards right after I got whooped on. I said, you know what, look at God. Because they might have thought they defeated me, but in reality, they empowered me.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that, and whatever dude quarterback that whole situation, the universe is gonna give him the super duper wedgie. Like he's gonna get that. You know what I mean, I salute you for not trying to do any get back because, yeah, damn. Um. Anyways, now let me. I wanna give you some more flowers because the way you do your interviews, I like how you do your interviews. I like the questions you ask. Like that's why I said earlier, you really do this. So, what do you find is the hardest part of interviewing people?
The hardest part about interviewing people is making it there for me. Some of my days are like not the easiest days. I have a 31-year-old brother with autism that I take care of. My mom has been dead 15 years. My dad is severely ill. So just getting there sometimes is like hard half the battle for me. Just getting past all my challenges in the day and just getting there. And then I record my own self. I have to edit everything my own self.
Yep,
uh
same here.
buying the place, buying the studio, putting it together. I used to shovel a lot of shit and clean up a lot of dog pee just to have people put my name on the screen, just to have somebody edit my show. I have
Right.
worked extremely hard for people. So learning how to do it myself has taken some stress off, but just making it there. And then when I sit down, it's sitting down and talking with you, and even just sitting down and doing my wide scope thing is
Yeah.
really the only time in the moment of the day that I really have something to focus on myself. And
Right.
so that's the reason why I created it, because I've done everything for everybody else, and these one little conversations that I have with people are my only time to self-reflect.
And that's funny. That's funny you bring that up because I seen another interview. Uh, it brings to my next question: how did you find yourself in this lane and of this podcasting of ours? Um, you when you was interviewing them, Mr. Conductor, right? If I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, yeah, conductor.
Yep, 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah,
you
you went
said,
way back. Okay, go on,
"Course,
Mr.
man,
President.
man,
Okay,
I'm this is my
I see you.
my heart and soul is in this, man. That's all I got." All right, but I seen that you said that before you jumped in this lane, what led you to this lane is that you was with your middle school sweetheart, best friend, ended up marrying him. He's a rapper. You was pushing him, and one day he got annoyed. It was like, you need to find something for yourself. Go be all you could be. And then you was already in the field of helping people. You was working. I forget what you said. Damn, bad. But go ahead. Let the people know what led you to this lane.
Um,
Podcasting.
Shout out to Zoom Music Reviews in Vegas. Basically, like, I had paid for my husband to be nominated as Artist of the Month. And when we was in Vegas, he kind of embarrassed me and was like talking to me crazy and was just telling me like, I can't wait till you find your own dream and stop pushing me. And in that moment, I had saw them when they were having the radio station. I had did voiceovers years ago because I always wanted to be in the radio. I used to go to Powerhouse and 100.3 The Beat events, always, because I always wanted to be like DJ Charisma. I always wanted to be a DJ. I saw how DJ Charisma just controlled the West Coast. My brother being DJ J Dilla in Detroit. I always wanted to be a DJ like my brother, DJ Dez. So when I saw DJ Charisma and then I saw the radio station that day and he was talking all that crap to me, I was like, you know what? I need to, like, the pandemic, like, the world is here. I could die soon and I ain't never did my own dream. I connected with Sunlit Media and I asked her about cleaning up her studio and working for her in exchange for her to do my show. I was there for a little bit of time. She was able to do it for a little bit of time, but she kind of was like slowing up on my editing. My shows just kept coming out like a month and a half behind. And so I had realized that I had shoveled enough shit and enough pee that I needed to be self-sufficient in my craft. And that's when I left 33rd Compound. Um, I went to Sav Did It Studio and IE. Shout out to Sav Did It. The first day I walked into his studio, he handed me a soundboard and made me record myself. And in that moment, I knew that God had a plan for me. My
Mm.
friend Mama Riches, she passed away. My friend Dre, they used to see me at the compound. I'd be working so hard, doing everything. And they said, you're so much more than an intern. You need to really do your own thing. And shout out to Sunlit Media, shout out to the 33rd. But I really needed to get out of there and go do my own thing and learn how to do my own stuff so that I could be self-sufficient. And
Right.
now I know how to record. Now I know how to edit. Am I the best that I could be? No. But will I grow to be the best that I could be one day?
For
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And speaking of this lane we're in, I don't I don't I don't I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything, but this is what it is. This is and I'm sure you agree, this is a male dominated field you're in. You understand, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. I know.
so how do you navigate through that? Being a woman, and what is your advice to other women that are thinking about or just starting in this lane?
It's crazy that you asked me that. Like, I had got a radio deal one time with somebody that's very famous in LA, and the radio they wanted me to do it with a G string on naked with another porn star naked, right? And so clearly I didn't take the deal, right? And it was on my birthday at that. They was like, "Hey, we're gonna put you on your birthday suit." And so I tell this to women every day. God's got a plan for us. That's why life comes from us. Because the kindness and genuineness that we need, sometimes men are supposed to be the hammer and
I'm
lead us.
sorry to cut you off. Say that. You got to say that again for the people in the back. What you said?
Okay. God gave us the power to bring life because comfortness, genuineness, love comes from us. It's on a man to lead with the hammer. We want the man to lead with the hammer, but that's why we are there to be their conscience. You feel me? I tell every woman, I have no problem pissing men off. Okay? You have to tell yourself if this is what you want to do. I know a lot of women who lead with their vagina. Let's just put it that way. Okay? You're gonna end up using abuse and not have none of the things you need for in this industry. Okay? The same way a man would take it, the same way he'd give it, the same way he would take it. If you really want something, you got to rely on your other queens to help you make it happen. You got to put that good energy out there. There's some men that you got to turn down. They're going to have to go around the block and come back. You feel me? But if you allow these men to sex play you, you ain't going to never get to where you want to get to. Because when you get up there, all they going to do is bring you back down, reminding you how many people done slept through you or ran through you. You have
Mm-hmm.
to be like me. I walk into a room sometimes and I can tell certain niggas that they don't talk, and it's okay because those are the men who have been rejected. Those are the men who know they can't get what they want from me, and I'm okay with that. You
Yeah.
feel me? But
That's that's. Go
you have
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
just you have to be as a woman. You just got to be okay with knowing that it's gonna be a little bit harder for me if I'm not gonna leave with my coochie. And you got to be okay with work. I don't mind sweeping up the floor. I don't mind cleaning up. I don't mind the hard work. But women got to just remind themselves that it's okay to just work hard for what you want. Getting it the easy way because he think you cute and he promising your dreams, that shit is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't. I, it's the same thing, man. You hear the same stories how wicked men can be in this business, and not just this business. Is any man in a position of power or some type of, it could be a fucking weirdo, a manager at a Subway. He's in a position of power, right? They're gonna be weird with that. They're gonna, what I mean? Like, I don't know. I can't relate. I've never been weird like that, especially towards women. That's crazy to me. How men can be. Uh,
But we have to
now.
remind ourselves, everybody don't love their mother. Everybody don't come from a loving home or a loving mother. You feel
Yeah.
me? And a lot of these people, they know they have the key is to never let nobody know that they have what you want. There's a lot of
Right.
men that come up to me like, "Oh, Barbara, I got a studio. You want to come over here and go to the studio?" No, I'm cool. Thank you, though.
That's funny you said that. A lot of men don't love their mother, and they don't come from good mothers. I come from a very good mother, and I love my mother. So it's like, uh, that's that. I think that does play a big part in it. I mean, um, now mental health. You know, like I said, this platform is big on it. I like to speak on this, and I want to get your thoughts on it and your perspective on this. How do you go through and deal and navigate through your storms when you go through them? Because everybody got something, man.
Oh yeah, I have my storms. I deal with storms every day. I channel it. Before I used to be a very good pretender. I've been a great pretender my entire life. I know how to pretend I'm happy and pretend everything is well when it's not. Now, I gave myself permission to be not okay when not okay. I feel like mental health, we bottle it up because it takes our mental health becomes poor because we're bottling up so many emotions and so many things and don't just channel them out. Like I play music, I cry, I get it out, I talk about it, I fellowship about it. I no longer make myself a feeling ashamed because I go through things. Like yesterday, I get to stuff so early, and this girl was like, "Oh my God, you get to stuff so early." And I said, I have anxiety, and I like to get places early so that I can set my energy and make sure that I'm good. And so I think we have to just be okay with saying, I'm not perfect. Things ain't gonna be perfect. I'm not perfect, and it's okay.
Do you feel like do
Hear
you agree? Do you agree with? What are your thoughts on medication?
To be honest with you, I feel like certain people who need it. But I feel like certain mild conditions, like my brother is 31 years old, he has a lot of issues that he deals with, but my brother takes no medication.
Mm.
Um, I feel like certain things my brother can channel, but certain things I feel like don't need medication. Certain things I feel like are society's way of saying that. Like people who talk to themselves all day. As long as they're not telling themselves to kill nobody or kill themselves, I don't feel you need medication for that. My brother's hyperly active. He doesn't go to sleep at night sometimes. He's up all night. All right, let's do some push-ups. Let's do some jumping jacks. Let's go run.
Play
Let
some video games.
go jack off, nigga. I don't care. But you ain't, but you don't
Right.
always just need medication. I think that sometimes we just need like a little bit of consciousness of like a person just needs like a little bit more. You know what I mean? Or they need a little bit less, or they need more. They need to be saturated in love, And so, but we all go through things. Like my mom was severely bipolar, you know. Growing up, I realized that maybe my mom probably should have got medication. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because it probably would have made things less challenging for us, and she probably would have realized that she did have a tumor in her brain that caused her to have bipolar issues. So I feel like there's always a large spectrum out there. Some people do need medication. You know what I mean? Like, my mother did need medication and she didn't. But my brother, he doesn't need medication because I feel like he's mild enough for us to just dwell and deal with what we need to deal with. So it's like up and down. Like myself, I deal with things, but I feel like because I channel them, I talk about it, I deal with it. I don't rely on medication. I rely on my faith.
Right. I don't agree with medication. I feel like that it just makes people worse because without it, you see what people do. The end result, a lot of them, they end up going doing mass shootings, and it's just real weird. It's just the way, not to insert myself. This is your interview, but I can relate to this. I was on meds. I've been off my meds since I was 16. I refuse to take meds anymore because when I was on them, I felt like a zombie. Versus so I'm 39 years old. I just turned 39, and I've been off meds since I was 16, and I'm still here. You know what I mean?
Amen.
So it's like you said earlier, it's all mental, and your environment has a lot to do with it too. Your environment, and then it boils down to again your mental. Are you gonna let your environment eat you up? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
Nelly.
but to each his own. To each his own. You know what I mean? Um, Now with the podcasting. Any upcoming new interviews coming, events, merch? What's going on with Wise Coast Podcast Radio, and why that name and logo too?
Well, I really liked Interscope always growing up. And so I like their logo and what they stand for. I love Universal Music Group also, but Wide Scope was just like I feel like we're too narrow minded. I feel like people need to look at life on a wide scope. And I feel like it was a message to myself to stay focused on my target, but make sure that I'm living life on a wide scope and that I'm addressing everything through my camera. I feel like I want to see the world through my camera lens. And so I'm looking at life through a wide scope and I'm trying to just stay focused. And so that's why I came up with that whole design. And then what was the other question you asked me?
Um,
Upcoming stuff.
any
Upcoming
and yeah,
stuff.
upcoming stuff. Yes.
So I got a stash and dash going on Monday at Freeway Ricky's Dispensary in Sun Valley, 9074 DeGarmo, Sun Valley, California. We're having a stash and grab up there. We're going to be stashing tickets all around like the community. You can get $50 off of dispensary products. I also have Queens of the Mic, which is an all-female cipher competition that I do. I'm going to be doing the Queens of the Mic Volume 3. I'm going to have a $500 prize for that. I'm also going to be doing a pop-up shop with some people from North Carolina, Chicago, the Bay Area at Freeway Ricky spot. BMF is going to be coming out here in October. We're going to be doing a BMF event up there. And so I'm just kind of just keeping it going, keeping it going. Upcover interviews. I got Poke coming. I got another South LA artist that's fresh out of jail. We're gonna be doing Johnny Rose interview coming up. Who else am I doing? I'm doing Mr. HQ that has like that marijuana that's like color coded, like all these different colors and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, we're just trying to get it going. And then Jay the Kid is gonna be coming on Monday. And I got a skit coming up with Glasses Malone. So I'm just trying to just work hard and just trying to stay focused. But after November, I'm going to be dedicated. I'm going to be recording all that I can. And from November on, I'm gonna only be focused on a series or a movie. I want to focus on. I always wanted to be like Spike Lee. I've been putting it off for too long, and so it's time for me to do a conscious film about adults with. I want to do a movie that's about adults with disabilities,
Right.
and share the life that me and my brother live. Like people don't realize that if you're a family member of somebody who has disabilities, I
Right.
need people to understand their role. Understand that, be a big sister, be a big cousin. Make sure that that family member that's in your family, that he don't look raggedy, that he look good, that he smell
Right.
good.
He's
That
gonna
he have
feel
a
good about himself, or she's gonna feel good about herself. You know what I mean?
yeah. So that's my new wave now. I want to get on making more conscious content that tells a story about, people think that I have an attitude all the time, not realizing that I don't have an attitude because you want to fuck me. I have an attitude because I've been abused as a child. And so I'm not just having meaningless sex with people. It's nothing personal, bro. You feel me? And so I feel like people need to like understand that people have been through things, and these podcast interviews I thought would get the point across, but now I feel like it's time for me to dive into film.
Um, merch. I see you got the wide scope merch on right now.
Yeah, got my little shirt on.
You coming out? You coming like with a fall line with that, or
Well, to be honest with you, I've been creating this thing called Bust Down Queen Drip, and
okay?
basically it's gonna be like it's gonna have like my logo on there to like incorporate my company and stuff. But I'm gonna just like have I've been like just doing all different type of shirts, and the shirts just say like it's all about self preservation. You feel me? So different shirts say different things. Like I love my haters. My things, what don't kill you, what don't kill you make you stronger, and it has different like things on there that I've like hand painted. I've done like certain like safety pin, certain things on shirts, and so I've been taking my time with it because I don't want to be like everybody. I don't want to just have like a gang of stuff,
Right, right,
and so I've been making certain designs and certain things, and I'm gonna do like a fashion show to like put my stuff out there.
right, right.
And now that I just won the Chase Bank program for small businesses, they're gonna help me like develop a website and develop
Oh,
all the
that's
stuff that I
right.
needed, and then I'll be able to like really push my stuff.
Oh man, see, good things happening, man. Good things happening.
And God is so good to me. You have no idea.
Right. All right, I have a couple more questions, and I'm gonna let you go. Um, you don't have to, if you don't want to talk about this, you don't have to. But I just like to get everybody's perspective on this.
Okay.
And it's about politics. What are your thoughts on Trump? Are you Team Trump or Kamala? What's going on with you? Or you really don't have an opinion at all?
I mean, I am gonna vote. I probably gonna. I feel like everything. Like one thing I know about politics, I did politics for very well, and I know that between now and November, each side digs deep on each person,
Hmm.
right? So right now, we got the campaign teams on both teams, and they're digging. The things that we need to know about them will come to the lights because each team is gonna tell on each other over
Right.
time. And so the closer we get to the election, Trump's going to tell us things about her that we don't know. And the thing about her is that I'm more siding with voting for her because I know she's more conscious about what other people think about her. She's more conscious about what the public feels and having their opinions and all that stuff. Trump don't care about what nobody think. He don't care about making nobody mad. He gonna go in there and do what the hell he want to do. And so for me, I'd rather deal with a person that is at least conscious enough we can wait on that and make sure we trying to lead them in the right way. But a person
Hmm.
with no conscience, that's scary.
Yeah. Hey, you're entitled to that. I can't
But you
even.
never know. But you just never know. I feel like with both of them, we're gonna see over time. Like Trump has his good things that he wants to do, but then I
Yeah.
think like ultimately, if you don't care, we have a problem with systematic racism. So for me, the problem that I have with Trump is that a lot of his policies will be systematically influenced. So a lot of the things that we've kind of gotten away from and that we fixed with policies, we might go back 20 years with certain policies because, you know, yeah, he might do a lot of things for business wise for America. But when I think about my great grandkids years from now, I care about mental health services. I care about all those other things. I care about systematic racism. So, you know, sometimes you got to go for the devil you know sometimes.
Mm, man. I feel like we're living in, this is a real dangerous time. Growing up, I remember election years was fun, hopeful. A lot of people were excited, anxious. Now it's just the past few elections was just scary. It's just scary times because it's just wicked out here, man. It's just, you know what I mean? Last question. Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I plan on seeing myself in my own building, operating my Wide Scope Podcast Radio as a company in a building with a nonprofit supported to it, giving opportunity to schools come and do production, do art, do music. Have adults with disabilities come do art. Everything that I do as a person, I want to be able to offer that as a program to different populations of people, and ultimately be a TV network, ultimately be more of like a talk show. I want to be more like a Ricky Lake type of channel, you know what I
Mm,
mean, where I can talk with
okay.
people and tell
Brought it
their
back.
stories, talk to people. I want to take it back to where we talked about our problems on television with a conscious state of mind.
Right, right. Well, you're definitely gonna achieve all that and then some, man. Um, Once again, man, I thank you very much. We got to run this back. I feel
Man,
like part.
this is the coolest thing I've ever done. Anytime.
Have you ever been interviewed before?
I have been interviewed before, but I have never I've only done this yard thing one other time, to be honest with
Yes,
you.
but
I was
nobody hasn't like face to face interviewed you. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
and
I've been face
all
to
that
face.
you've done.
Yeah, I've
Same
done
thing with
face
me.
to face interviews, but I've never how do I put it this way? The other people that have interviewed me face to face, right, or on this yard thing like I've done before,
Yeah. Yeah.
they kind of knew me, so it was different, right?
Mm,
There's a difference between somebody like, oh, but I want to interview for my channel so you can post it on yours, you know?
Yeah.
versus like somebody like, you know, really a genuine supporter, a genuine person really asking me questions. People have interviewed me, but they have never been really and no disrespect to nobody, but
Yeah.
no one has actually been prepared to ask me questions that I really felt like it was an interview. People interview me, they talk about stuff, they talk about people that I work with, or talk about, you know, them in the process, but there's a difference between people like really. That's why I value, I want people to have the feeling like how you gave me. You
Right.
want people to know that you were prepared and you went through their background, that they can answer the question properly. And so that's where quality over quantity matters, because people can have conversations with me to talk about things that they feel like are important, that are going to get viral. But there's a difference between someone talking to me about me and wanting to educate themselves about me and ask me questions about my life. And that is what makes a person feel like this is an interview.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That was a dope compliment because, like I said,
So let
my
me give
heart
you
and soul is in this.
hold on. Let me give you your roses, okay? For a person as socially inclined as you are, dedicated to what you're doing, supporting people far away from you, and being who you are, I have really I just left Freeway and I told Freeway like, hey, I gotta talk to you later. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
I made sure that I evaluated my day with everybody today. Even my phone broke today, and they were gonna fix my phone, and I said, "Nah, I can't fix my phone yet. I have to do this interview with somebody because I know that you are serious about what you're doing. You are
Yeah.
serious. You have supported me, and so I wanted you to know that that type of integrity that you have, it speaks volumes to someone like me. That I may not know you, but I took your interview more serious than anybody's interview that I've ever had.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you very much. And that just gave me more fuel to keep going with this.
Keep
Um,
going, keep going."
Speaking of Freeway, before we get out of here, if you could try to connect him and I would love to interview him. What do I got to do? I know his time ain't free. We could work something out. I don't know what's going on. I don't expect anything free in this world, but that would be a good investment if I got to invest down the line or whatever I got to do. But I would love to interview that man.
All right, well, I'll make sure I give him your Instagram when I see him on Monday. Y'all make sure y'all come out to the Stash and Grab. We are at 9074 DeGarmo Avenue in Sun Valley, California. I'm your girl, Barbie Velvet. White Scope Podcast Radio is in the building. And thank you for having me, King.
Thank you very much, Queen. Thank you. And we're going to run this back. I say like around Thanksgiving, we'll run it back because you'll
That's
at the
my
time.
birthday. That's my
Thanksgiving.
birthday.
Okay.
Thanksgiving. So hit me up around that time. I'll be
Yep.
ready.
All right. I'm going to let you go, man. You have a blessed night and be safe out there. Thank you.
You too. I appreciate you. And y'all make sure y'all follow my boy page. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going.
Thank you. Thank you.
You too. Have a good one.
You too. You as well. Everybody, hold on real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Uh, Trelathon. What's Trelathon? My brother. My brother. Is this substance for that ass for you, Trelly? I remember you was like, nobody believed me, but Trelly did. Trelly, my brother, what's up? Remember you told me, yo, Nightcap has to have more substance because I was just going in there freestyling. You get me? But now I'm here. I'm outside. Um, yeah, people, man. Make sure you love yourself first. Uh, that way you can love others accordingly, and that way you don't let nobody play with you because you know life is short and we don't get to respond when this is over. And make sure that you separate yourself from those that don't deserve your energy, and that includes family. You love them from afar. And that was we just another episode of Nightcap with Friends, the best podcast at night, powered by Smoking Politics with me, honorably refreshing for the world. We just interviewed Miss Barbie Velvet, founder and creator of Wide Scope Podcast Radio out there in Los Angeles, California, man. Her channel is in the title. Please, whenever you guys have a chance, subscribe, hit that bell, check her out. And tune in this Sunday, again, Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Nightcap with Friends, 9 p.m. Eastern. This Sunday, I think I will be flying solo, or maybe, hold on, I got something you should touch on. Hit me up, brother. Oh, I will, definitely. And I don't know, but I'll let people know. Most likely I'll probably fly solo, but stay tuned. Oh, no, actually, no. Oh, yeah. The following Friday, up and coming Friday for Nightcap, I will be interviewing the conclusion, PDH Music Entertainment. So stay tuned, man. Subscribe, hit that bell. Peace.